With the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, EA is calling foul on Russia and removing national teams and pro clubs from recent FIFA and NHL titles.
And Pokemon has been killing it lately. They got another new game announcement. We're going to talk all about this stuff and so much more right now on Gaming News Weekly. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gaming News Weekly, the best weekly video game news show out there. We're here every Monday morning, dropping the biggest, sweetest, juiciest video game news from the previous week. My name is E-Rock the Red. This guy is Full Clip. What's going on, dude? How are you?
Yeah, doing good, E-Rock, and I know you had an exciting week.
I did, dude. I've just been playing. I've been playing Elden Ring. Just all the time. Not nearly as much as some of my friends, though. I just yesterday, I checked out some of the hours. My best friend, the dude I do my podcast with, Keith, he had racked up 34 hours already since Friday, or since, since it was released. That was in, so we're recording this early, so that was in like less than a week. Crazy. I'm only at about 12 hours, dude. I got to find the time to get this in. By the time you're hearing this, though, it's going to be another 4 days that have passed, and I'm hoping to be double that by then. But I'm having a blast. Have you been watching any video or anything of this game?
I've seen a little bit of it, yeah. I'm trying not to get any spoilers because I would like to try it.
Yeah. Do you like, so now that I've played it, do you like Breath of the Wild?
Like, have you really played that?
Okay. It's just a giant, like, you could go anywhere. It's a giant open world, and, like, you have the ability, you have this horse that you could just ride to any location and, just explore. It's a ton of exploration. The gameplay is super hard still, but they make it a lot easier by having, like, more respawn points, so you're not constantly running back to where you died, like the previous games. It's like, okay, you died, and then you have to, like, somehow get back to where you were, but, like, so it gets to a point where instead of just killing all the enemies that are along the path because they respawn after you die, you just try to run past them, snaking in and out. You don't have to do that anymore. It's great. But, yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. There's so many secrets, so much cool stuff, so much cool weapons. Like, the graphics are beautiful. So, yeah, I'm a huge Elden Ring fan, so I definitely recommend it.
Sounds like a really good time to be in on the game, too, when everybody's just figuring it out. You can't just, like, Google all the answers.
Yeah, no, I've looked, like, there has been, like, things that I've gotten in the game, and I'm like, let me see, like, what this is. And, like, there's no information out yet. Like, it's still, like, all kind of happening. But, don't get me wrong, there's people that are on, like, probably like New Game Plus that are, just crushing it. But you been playing anything new, anything exciting?
Just a little bit of Call of Duty, playing the new maps, not a whole lot of that. I'm really waiting for, like, this mid-season update that's supposed to bring, like, a war mode back from, I think World War II had it. I was a big fan of that, but it's going to involve, like, vehicles and things like that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that'll be fun. Have you progressed any further in getting the camo that you want?
Not too much. Like, I've hit a wall where it's like the launchers were so terrible. The last launcher where you got to get like 3 kill streaks in one match 30 times. Yet it's impossible to take out like the few kill streaks there are. They tried to fix that by making the spy planes come in longer, but they doubled the speed, so now you can't shoot them down at all. It's silly. They broke it further trying to fix it. Oh man,
that's rough.
Such is COD.
Yep. You'll figure it out. There'll be you can go buy one of those hacks, dude. So go buy a hack.
I won't go that far. I will just continue murdering dogs, I guess, on there.
All right. Well, that's exciting. Let's get to what everybody's here for. Let's talk about the news. Let's talk about the new releases from last week. we're getting to a point where we're getting more games every week. It's exciting. I actually had like some to pick and choose from this week. It wasn't just like here are the 2 games that are out. So yeah, it was nice. First up, let's talk about Elex. Is it Alex? How would you say that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to say Elex because it sounds cool. Elex 2. Alex 2. I don't know. Alex sounds better because it's like Alex, but it's Alex. I've never played the game. I've never played Alex 1 or Elex 1. And but now the sequel is out. This is a sequel to a fairly popular game that came out before, popular in certain circles, but it's a vintage open world role-playing game, and they call it Science Fantasy, which is it sounds pretty cool. You got like a jetpack that you're like roaming around on, and then it's like a post-apocalyptic role-playing game. It's getting pretty decent reviews. Right now, it's right at low 70s on Metacritic, and they're saying the story's great, the soundtrack's great, that sort of thing. But like a little, like some gameplay issues as far as like unnecessarily hard in certain points or like a little glitchy. But yeah, it sounds fun. I never heard of the first one prior to this release, so.
Same here. Yeah, and I've heard the same thing as you, and I watched an entire review of it, 7 out of 10, so right on with Metacritic. And yeah, it was like the biggest criticism out of this giant open great world, which was really cool to see, was that your enemies are a little bit static. It doesn't feel like the world is really lived in, but I hear that criticism of a lot of open world games.
Yeah. Just recently I heard that about the Pokemon Arceus, which is one of the reasons I haven't picked that up, because they said it's just like Pokemon just kind of thrown about like a really bland world. So, I was hoping to catch that on sale, but those games never go on sale. But yeah, that's an issue with some of these open world games. Elden Ring, packed with intrigue and fun stuff. They're doing it right. All right, let's talk about another game. Far Changing Tides. This came out March 1st for PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One XS, and the Nintendo Switch. Now this is another kind of sequel. It's more of a companion piece, I guess, to the previous game, Far Lone Sails. That's what I have here. And it's this beautiful game. It's like this exploration game where you have a ship and you have to find stuff, but like you're just on a journey. It doesn't give you any instructions about what to do. It just kind of sets you out there in this world, and there's like very brief like kind of tips about how to do it. But it looks gorgeous. It looks like one of those games that you could kind of just get lost in for a few hours and just figure out like how to sail around on this boat. And I guess again, like the story's great, the soundtrack's great. This one right now is at 80 on Metacritic. So yeah, this one immediately went on my list, on my wish list. It's only $20 right now, so definitely worth taking a look at if you're on a budget. But yeah, I don't know how long it is, but the story looks cool and it looks gorgeous. It looks right up my alley. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, I thought it was a really interesting looking game, and certain parts of it remind me of like No Man's Sky, or sorry, not No Man's Sky, the pirate game.
Oh yeah.
Sea of Thieves.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you have some obstacles, but it's Sea of Thieves if it were only single player and side scrolling. It was kind of cool, like how you could dive underwater for treasure and try to bring that back up to your ship. You could get upgrades on your ship to make it into a bit of a submarine, and then it's got like puzzle parts to it. So your ship is eventually going to hit a wall, and you need to climb up onto this monstrosity and figure out how to open the gate. Yeah,
it definitely had. It was really. It looked like it was definitely made with love. This game, so definitely worth checking out. And then last up, let's talk about Gran Turismo 7. This is a big one for a lot of people. This came out March 4th for PS4 and PS5, and this is the the racing game of racing games. This has always been one of those games for PlayStation owners that have been like the racing game to play. It's more of a simulation game. So speaking of that, in this version they returned the GT simulation mode. It's kind of like their campaign that they took out for a little bit. That's back. along with they got dynamic time changes, weather changes. It's over 420 cars, classic cars, super cars, all that stuff. 90 different tracks, and it's Gran Turismo. It's right now it's at 87 on Metacritic. It's one of the best reviewed racing games out there. I mean, how crazy is it? This, if you're a racing fan this year, you get Forza Horizon and Gran Turismo. I mean, you got to own both an Xbox and a PlayStation in order to get that. But why not?
And the interesting fact I heard was that Gran Turismo 6, the last numbered entry into the series, was 9 years ago. And this seems to be a bit of a trend where we're reviving these old series.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that this one has been in the works for 9 years. I remember hearing about this for so long, and it just kept getting for a while there's no announced date and then some delays, and so now it is here. I'm hearing that on the PlayStation 5, it's amazing. It's got ray tracing, 4K, 60 frames per second, and then it's got the adaptive triggers, change the way it feels to drive the car, as well as the haptic feedback. Makes you you can feel the road as you're driving it. I really want to check it out. I'm not a huge racing fan, and I'm especially not a huge sim racing guy, but everything I'm hearing in this game makes me really want to check it out.
Yeah, looks really nice. I watched a video on the car customization that you can do in there, and I wouldn't say that it's to the level where you might be satisfied if you're into the better of the Need for Speed series, but it still looks you've got real cars, and if you're a fan of any of those cars, you're going to probably be happy with the modifications.
Yep. Yeah, anybody who's into cars, I'm thinking, this is the game with the variety of cars, and like you said, the customizations. If you're a motorhead, or if you're into cars or racing, definitely, I'm sure you're already playing this if you've got a PS4 or a PS5. All right. That's it. Those are our 3 big releases from last week. Let's switch things up and talk about our news of the week. All right, first up, let's talk about Pokemon. So Pokemon had another big announcement. They announced a brand new game, Pokemon Violet and Scarlet, announced to come out sometime late 2022 with a really beautiful trailer. It shows a huge open world is what they're saying. I don't know how it's going to differ from the previous games, if it's going to be actually an open world game or how it's going to work. But that's a nice change. And then they have 3 new starting Pokemon. There's a grass type kitten, a fire type little alligator guy, and a water type duck with a jaunty little cap. So Pokemon fans, rejoice. Start figuring out who you're going to pick for your entry into Pokemon Violet and Scarlet. What do you think about this one?
Looks interesting. I'll be honest, I haven't played since Game Boy Advanced, so I'm not really up on the newest generations of Pokemon. It just seems like more of the same to me. But choosing between this and Arceus right now, I'm probably going to go with Arceus. It seems like a cool adventure.
It does.
But yeah, I know a million people are going to be picking up both Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah. My wife gets it every time it's announced, and plays them multiple times. So, I'm sure we'll definitely be getting this one. She's already trying to figure out, who her starting Pokemon is going to be. Like I said earlier, that Arceus game, definitely. I was really into the idea of it when it was first announced, and then I just wanted it to be able to hook me with the world. So it's still on my list. We'll see about getting that one as well. But it's a lot of Pokemon. Then you got Pokemon Go. We're still playing Pokemon Snap here. My kid's super into Pokemon right now, so we got a lot of Pokemon things happening in this house. So
there you go.
What's one more? Keep it coming.
Yep.
So now regarding that whole thing, so it was announced on Pokemon Day, the annual day when there's things happening in the Pokemon world. It's a day of festivities and fun. Now, it turned into more of a surprise announcement, And the people over there in Pokemon World basically said that they under advertised this because of the things that are happening surrounding the situation in the Ukraine. So I thought that was interesting that they're aware of, what's going on. But yeah, they basically said they explained that it wanted to be sensitive to major world events happening at the time and those impacted. So it reduced the advertising surrounding the event with the idea that in mind that fans will be able to participate in the event if they choose to, rather than making it a focus for the industry and potentially take away from more important news. And people ask, well, why didn't you cancel it? It's Pokemon Day, they said,
Yeah.
It had to. It was planned for a while to have this. They just kind of, de-hyped it. So.
And if anybody is, mad at them for doing what they didn't have to do as much as they did. That's more than a lot of companies would do. So, kudos to them for thinking on an international level and not trying to, grab the spotlight.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're seeing more and more things related to the video game industry taking place that having to do with this situation in Ukraine. And let's go through some of them. There's if you're living under a rock, you may not be aware that there is a potential war happening right now between Russia and Ukraine. Russia has invaded Ukraine, like the big giant pieces of shit that they are. I'm sure everybody agrees. But so the deputy prime minister of the Ukraine has been, he's been making announcements. He's been trying to get, anything to help out the people of Ukraine, to kind of put a strain on Russia. Now we're seeing it all over the world in every facet of life. People, sanctioning Russia, whether it be governmental or just in choice. So we're seeing Disney, Sony, Paramount, and Warner Brothers have pulled upcoming movies from being released in Russia. Stuff like that we're starting to see. And it's stretching out to the video game industry, so much so that the Deputy Prime Minister, Mikhailo Fedorov, he called on all game development companies and esports platforms to temporarily stop support for Russia and Belarus. He had an open letter directed to PlayStation and Xbox, and I just want to read it real fast. I'm going to read a lot of quotes of these upcoming parts because I don't want to get it wrong. This is a sensitive subject. I don't want to get it wrong. But he basically said, to all game development companies and esports platforms, the Russian Federation has carried out a deceptive and outrageous military attack on my country. Just imagine, in 2022, cruise missiles attack residential neighborhoods, kindergartens, and hospitals in the heart of Europe. The armed forces and citizens are defending Ukraine till the end. The whole world is repelling the aggressor through the imposition of sanctions. The enemy must suffer significant losses, but we need your support. In 2022, modern technology is perhaps the best answer to the tanks, multiple rocket launchers, and missiles. I am sure you will not only hear, but also do everything to protect Ukraine, Europe, and finally, the entire democratic world from bloody authoritarian aggression. And I appeal to temporarily block all Russian and Belarusian accounts, temporarily stop the participation of Russian and Belarusian teams and gamers in all international esports events, and cancel all international events holding on the territory of Russia and Belarus. We are sure that such actions will motivate the citizens of Russia to proactively stop the disgraceful military aggression. Yours sincerely, Deputy Prime Minister. I just really thought this was interesting. Is this the first time we're seeing someone reach out to video game industries during a war to kind of put the squeeze on it? It really shows how powerful video games are in the industry, as far as even in esports. We're seeing sporting events, the F1 and stuff like that. They're pulling out of holding events in Russia, and now esports are right in there. I love that it's that powerful of a thing to to make the news like this.
Yeah. So I see sort of two sides to this. You can make the argument, because a lot of people are trying to really make the point right now. If you're going to hate anybody, hate Putin, hate the government, hate his cabinet, don't hate the Russian people.
Yeah.
And to a degree, you could probably ask, well, then why punish the people? I mean, Putin's not playing FIFA and NHL games. Your average Russian citizen might not be either. But on the other side of the coin, it's truly trivial whether or not these games are in there temporarily or forever. And if it sort of gets the word out there, because there is a huge misinformation campaign, propaganda campaign within Russia, telling people just a falsehood about what's going on in the Ukraine. And if this does some little part in getting people to look into it, figure out what's going on, then that's probably extremely important.
Absolutely. It's 100%. It's the Russian people that are going to win this thing. Not, for their side, they're going to bring back peace, So this is the right idea, and we're seeing it all over, just kind of, making the Russian people look past the propaganda, see what's going on, why all these things, why the rest of the world is like having this, aggression towards Russia in this situation, because they don't know. So, definitely really cool. We're also seeing it so Apple has halted the sale of products in Russia. So they're hoping to, do the same thing. They're gonna no longer sell their products, and they're going to stop certain app store apps from being available in Russia as well. So that was interesting. And then another one, EA is removing Russian teams from FIFA 22 and NHL 22. So another thing to hit the video game industry. And this is so basically the statement from EA Sports is this. I'll just read this real fast. EA Sports stands in solidarity with the Ukrainian people, and like so many voices across the world of football, calls for peace and an end to the invasion of Ukraine. In line with our partners at FIFA and EUFA, EA Sports has initiated processes to remove the Russian national team and all Russian clubs from EA Sports FIFA products, including FIFA 22, FIFA Mobile, and FIFA Online. We're also actively evaluating related changes to other areas of our games. We will keep our communities up to date on any actions taken and thank players for their patience as we work through these updates. So now, this is in relation to them, to the actual leagues, football leagues, removing Russia. So, this is really just to, keep things in line with what's actually happening. So that was interesting. And then another one, CD Projekt Red announced it will stop selling games in Russia and Belarus and on the all games distributed on the GOG platform. So thought that was interesting. They said, we do believe that commercial entities, when united, have the power to inspire global change. The company also said it knows many Russian and Belarusian individuals will have nothing to do with the war, but with this action we wish to further galvanize the global community to speak about what is going on in the heart of Europe. So again, like you said, same kind of idea, trying to get this discussion going about why this is happening and what needs to change. So pretty interesting how these, industries you wouldn't normally expect to have a say in this, specifically video games, are now are becoming an important part of everyday life. So
I've heard of a couple of instances. I can't think of any games in particular other than a game called This War of Mine I've seen in the past. Looks a little bit like a Fallout Shelter style game, maybe a little more complex.
The definitely. Developer it's got a big story.
They for a week, and I'm not sure where the cutoff was on that, but for an entire week they were donating all profits from the game to the Ukrainian, I'm not sure if it was humanitarian aid, something along those lines. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's still going on, but I keep hearing about other instances where that's happening. Yeah,
he just sent the money over, and it was a nice chunk of change. I was very pleasantly surprised, because also the game was marked down 70%. It was like $5, and the 100% of the proceeds went to them. I don't remember exactly what the number was that he came up with, but it was nice. So. But I'm sure there's going to be more of this as, things progress throughout Ukraine. So we'll keep everybody posted on any new updates that are affecting the video game industry as far as the situation in Ukraine. But let's move on. Let's talk about something very exciting. The March Game Pass games were announced for the first half of March, and they are as follows. Far Changing Tides. That's the one we just talked about. I didn't even realize it was going to be on there. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I was just talking. I was just saying how I was going to pick it up. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness! I put it on my wish list on my PlayStation.
Nice.
Man, Game Pass is the jam. All right, that's going to be that's available right now actually on cloud, console, and PC. You've got Microsoft Flight Simulator available now on the cloud. Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13 console and PC. That's out now. Kentucky Route Zero. That's cloud, console, and PC. Oh, I think that's like a goat simulator thing. I was like, what is this?
What is it?
I think so.
I thought it was like a like an indie sort of adventure game. I'm not sure. I looked into it a long time ago.
Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing something like that. But that's out March 10th. Lawn Mowing Simulator on the Xbox One, available March 10th. Young Souls, cloud, console, and PC, March 10th. And the big one, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, cloud, console, and PC, March 10th. That's huge, dude. This game just came out not too long ago.
Oh yeah, that's the one I'm most excited about. There, definitely.
I'm excited for you to play it. I mean, since like Sifu came out and then now Elden Ring, like I forgot completely all about it, and I would love to get back into it because I was just starting to like really get into the story and the gameplay. So yeah, I'm excited to hear what you think about it because it's definitely a fun game. Any of those other ones you excited to check out?
I would have been excited for Lawn Mowing Simulator if it weren't Xbox only. In fact, I thought that they actually had it on there already for PC as well. It may have taken it off.
They did. They announced it once before and then took it off and now re-announced it, but now it's just Xbox One. So I don't know if that's if it's out on other platforms or what. But yeah, I watched a trailer for that because I'm like, I need to know what the hell this is. Like, and it was like, dude, it was like the Gran Turismo of lawn mowing. They had all the brands. You get your John Deere. You get your Husqvarna. Yep. So yeah, that's but yeah, I'm super psyched that I could check out this Far Changing Tides without spending an extra dime. So that's very cool. And then I'll have to look into what Young Souls and Kentucky Route Zero are. Flight Simulator I always thought was cool, but I'm really, 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 really bad at flying things. Up is down, left is right. Who knows?
Yeah, I have questions about how well that works on the cloud anyway.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. That is a very it's a powerful game. You need a lot of stuff for that one. All right. Yeah, so we'll get that's just the first half of the Game Pass. Another announcement later this month. All right, next up, Epic Games is acquiring Bandcamp. Now, what's Bandcamp, you say? It's a streaming audio, music type situation. For a lot of indie artists put their stuff up there. It's a really cool platform. I don't use it that often. I've used it before for some of the more indie artists that I follow. They put their stuff up there. Yeah, I like it. Epic bought the damn thing.
It's supposed to be sort of more indie friendly and gives the artists a larger percentage of the music streaming revenue. Yeah. And that's sort of right on line with what Epic has been working toward in the gaming industry with their big lawsuit against like Apple and Google Play Store.
Yes, that's exactly it. That was it's right in line with them. I think they're going to do great. So now what they're going to do is they're going to get Bandcamp a much larger market from what they have now when they put them on these Epic whatever systems that they have in place. But yeah, so let's see. In a blog post from Epic, they said an important role in Epic's vision to build out a creator marketplace ecosystem for content, technology, games, art, music, and more. They emphasize that the core deal for artists won't change in the near future. The products and services you depend on aren't going anywhere. We'll continue to build Bandcamp around our artists' first revenue model. You still have the same control over how you offer your music. Bandcamp Fridays will continue as planned, and the daily will keep highlighting the diverse, amazing music on the site. But they said they will work together behind the scenes to push development of merchandising and payment options, mobile apps, live streaming, among other features. So this is a win-win for, you know, the users of Bandcamp and the artists that are putting their stuff up there. So Epic, you know, they're doing it, man. They're making so much money and not being like super greedy about it, you know?
Yeah.
It's great to see.
It's going to be interesting if the gaming industry has a big win out of this, because this could potentially make video game music licensing way more just in the favor of the gaming industry and the artists.
Yeah.
Whereas in the past, we know so many classic games that have been remastered, they have to cut out half the soundtrack, and it kind of sucks.
True. It does suck. Yeah. Very true. So yeah, this is a big win for Epic. Bandcamp. It's a great acquisition. I was happy to see that. All right, another acquisition, Netflix. Netflix gaming. It's still a thing, believe it or not. I don't know if you've you have played any of the offerings from Netflix. I know we've talked about it here a couple of times. Yeah. So they just bought Next Games. Now this is a studio out of Finland, and they've been around since 2013. They've created Stranger Things, Puzzle Tales, 2 Walking Dead mobile games, and they were just bought by Netflix for $72 million. All you got to do is make a Stranger Things game and a Walking Dead mobile game. Yep. I couldn't believe $72 million. Now, I did read, so the revenue from the games that they announced is close to $30 million. So I was like, okay, I don't know what these games are. I underestimate the mobile game landscape, obviously. But
yeah, they're making money over there.
Yeah. So they're gonna, focus on creating some of these games for the Netflix game studio. Same with who did they just buy? The people that made Oxenfree. So now they've got 2 studios to make games available for Netflix gaming. One thing I thought was interesting about Next Games is I read that AMC, the TV channel, is a major shareholder with Next Games, which is why they had the Walking Dead games on there. So I was like, that's cool. I don't know any other AMC. Better Call Saul. You could have a Better Call Saul TV show, video game.
Just a Breaking Bad in general.
Yeah,
so that'd
exactly.
be kind of cool.
That would be cool. You got to make meth perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they just have like a sweet sim meth game, you just got like a cooking like a cooking simulator, but for meth.
That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about it. I think isn't El Camino? Is that a Netflix original movie that was like the movie for?
Yes, you're right.
So maybe there's some tie-in.
Yeah, it's a perfect circle. Perfect. That's it. That is our news. What else you got to add? You got anything exciting to add to this?
I just got the text, and we are banned in Russia.
Oh shit! Putin.
Oh, pouting Putin.
Yeah. Well, it sucks. But let's talk about a brand new content creator of the week. This week, we're featuring ErrorBot. Now, not only does this guy have a great handle, ErrorBot, I love it. He loves biryani. I love biryani. He's a graphic designer, and he makes the dopest thumbnails for all of his videos. But yeah, he plays Overwatch. This is, this guy's right up my alley here. He's like a Bangladeshi version of me.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he doesn't quite have the beard, but he's getting there.
He's got a little work, but got a similar complexion. Yep.
I see him playing Apex, playing Valorant, playing Phasmophobia, so he's really starting to branch out a little more, using Facecam and everything, so it's a really interesting watch.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a Twitch. You could go check him out there. But yeah, he's doing it. Go leave him a comment. Tell him that Gaming News Weekly, E-Rock the Red, is a big fan. And let's go get some biryani. But yeah, definitely go follow his channel, comment, like all his things. Thanks for doing what you do, Errorabot. Keep churning out the sweet content.
Absolutely.
And that's it for us. Nothing else, right? I don't got anything.
Not that I know of.
I don't got anything. Make sure to leave a comment. We're gonna do another spin the wheel pip drawing next week. I decided it. We're due. I want to see that big wheel out again. It's my favorite part of you. Your big wheel.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, that is it. My name is E-Rock the Red. This guy is Full Clip. Go check him out on Twitch. FullClip_FL. You could watch him try to shoot down spy planes for 40 hours straight and only get one. Yep. That's it's good. It's good TV, guys. It's good TV. You could go check out my YouTube, Pop Culture Playground. That's where I post a lot of other things, including my my First Eps podcast, where we talk about new TV shows. And listen to this show in podcast form if you want us on the go. While you're driving, while you're jogging, on the elliptical, all those things. Doing a Peloton. You could have us on the go, in your ear holes, anywhere you get podcasts. And I feel like I'm forgetting something. Anything?
Don't think so. Not this week. Next week we will have something.
Absolutely, we'll forget something. All right. Thank you so much for checking this out. We will be back next week with more sweet gaming news. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.